Hey guys, it's Congressman Mike Garcia out here in Washington, D.C. for another rather emotional week of markups within the Appropriations Committee. Heading home for the weekend and then flying back here to D.C. next week for more markups. What is markups? Markups is the process by which we go through as appropriators, literally line by line of every budget across 12 federal agency bills. And as you know, we're trying to get back to responsible spending. So we are making meaningful cuts to some departments while also protecting Social Security, Medicare, the Defense Department investments, as well as the investments that we make in our veterans that have frankly earned those benefits and services. So keeping all of those things whole, looking at the remaining agencies to go make responsible cuts to hopefully reverse this tide of inflation that's been absolutely crushing us over the last couple of years. So we'll be participating in that over the next couple of weeks. Like I said, coming home this weekend to meet with some constituents and businesses, and then flying back out next week. This week, besides the markups, we had an absolutely remarkable achievement within the Department of Defense bill. I was able to get my RAISE Act language incorporated, which effectively raised the base pay of our junior enlisted troops from basically around $21,000 a year to $31,000 a year. This is a substantial increase to the base pay for our enlisted troops from E1 to E6. And this gets them at least to the levels of pay commensurate with what we see our fast food workers. And this has been something that I've been very vocal about, the fact that our military should be making at least what our fast food worker industry workers make as starting pay. This will be one of the largest pay increases, especially for our junior sailors in the history of the country. And this was something that we started. When you combine it with the Military Spouse Licensing Relief Act that we got signed into law, my bill got signed into law by President Biden back in January. I would submit that these are the two biggest improvements to quality of life for our troops, active duty troops, in the history of the country, and we've done this in just the last 5 months. So very proud of this. We're going to continue to hawk this to make sure it gets passed in the House within the spending bills moving forward. But as you know, I served our troops on the ground from the cockpit as a naval aviator, protecting our young soldiers on the ground. And that's my commitment here in Congress, to continue to do the same thing and hopefully reverse the tide in terms of the recruitment and retention challenges that we have nationwide. It's not just pay and benefits in that case. We've got to inspire young leaders and not erode their confidence in our not only in our leadership but also our military writ large. So we'll continue to fight that. This week I also signed on to a letter that urges Secretary of State Blinken to submit a brief to the International Criminal Court of Justice, which effectively would outline Israel's right to defend itself. It's remarkable that while Israel is attacked sometimes on a daily basis, there are many entities in some countries around the planet that see them as the aggressors and the oppressors when they are actually literally defending themselves from attacks just in their own neighborhoods, sometimes within their own borders. So this letter would compel not only the United States but also other countries, our partner nations, to recognize that Israel does have a right to defend itself, and we as Americans have an obligation to stand up for the Israelis, probably the biggest strategic partner that we have on the global stage right now, to not only help them but help stabilize and maintain relative stability in the Middle East moving forward. So we're hoping Secretary Blinken feels the same way and actually takes action on this. I've always said casework is the biggest thing that we can do as members of Congress. I represent you out here with billions of dollars at risk and massive responsibilities when it comes to national security. But in the end, taking care of our constituents is the biggest thing. I've talked about protecting Social Security, and we had a constituent who was only receiving about a 1% increase in his monthly Social Security benefits instead of the full 8.7% increase. And we were able to get that rectified and get the back pay associated with that fixed, so he is now whole, and we're proud to do that. So if you have an issue with the Social Security office, the VA, the IRS, you having challenges, if it's something that's taking you months and months to resolve, please just call our office, and we'll be happy to help you. A lot of passport requests right now. They're having some issues at the state with the passport processing. So if you're caught off guard, passport turned into a pumpkin, and you're going overseas, you need help, please call us. We'll be able to take care of things relatively quickly. Like I said, coming up next week we'll be in markups again. We'll keep you up to date with a week in review next week, but as always, please subscribe to the newsletter. We send an email version with more details on the bills and the votes each week. and you can subscribe to that at the website, mikegarcia.house.gov. Have a great weekend, guys. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and God bless.